Today I'm reviewing the ULTIMEA Skywave X50 5.1.4ch wireless surround sound system with its 760W output, Dolby Atmos support, wireless surrounds, and an 8 inches powered subwoofer. If you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've had this system in my living room paired with a TV and used it for movies, streaming shows, games, and music listening. My impressions come from real use rather than just reading specs. Let's set expectations up front. This isn't a pro studio reference system or a high-end audiophile rig. It's designed as an all-in-one home surround solution that aims to bring immersive sound to a living room without complex wiring. In everyday listening, the Skywave X50 delivers a noticeable step up from typical TV speakers. Dialogue feels clearer and more grounded, movies have a sense of space, and action scenes carry a bigger presence. The Dolby Atmos support adds a bit of height sensation on content encoded for it. You feel some lift and spaciousness compared with basic 3-channel bars. It's not the same as a discrete ceiling speaker system, but it's real presence enhancement in most standard rooms. Music playback also benefits. Tracks that have depth and stage focus come through with more separation than the TV alone. At moderate volume levels, the system stays balanced enough that vocals and instruments don't feel overly colored. The 8 inches subwoofer provides solid low-end reinforcement. In movies, explosions and deeper motifs have weight without overwhelming the room. For music, bass feels fuller than in smaller standalone soundbars. It's not elephant-shaking deep like giant subs, but it's practical and keeps up with most content without sounding flabby. Wireless surround speakers add to the immersive feel. When active, they bring out directional cues in films and games more convincingly. They don't require running long speaker cables across the room, which keeps setup cleaner. There's a slight delay in occasional gaming sound effects, but it's subtle and not disruptive in most content. Positioning the surrounds properly, not tucked behind furniture, helps them deliver the best sense of space. Controls and connectivity are practical. Bluetooth, HDMI ARC, and optical inputs make everyday connections simple for TVs and phones. The remote and app give straightforward access to modes and adjustments without being confusing. There are a few trade-offs to acknowledge. At very high volume, the system can start to feel a bit strained in the highest frequencies. It doesn't distort badly, but it loses some finesse compared with more expensive separates. The wireless surrounds sound good, but don't have the depth or authority of bigger floor stand speakers. They're very effective for ambience rather than being primary sound sources. The size and footprint are manageable for most living rooms. The bar and sub don't feel small, but they don't dominate space either. Setup took a little patience, aligning speakers wirelessly and calibrating levels, but once in place, it stays stable. Now let's position this system realistically. If you're comparing this to smaller TV soundbars with basic stereo or virtual surround, the Skywave X50 delivers noticeably more presence, depth, and spatial feel. If you compare it to high-end custom speaker systems with dedicated amps and wired surrounds, this doesn't reach that level of resolution or dynamic control. That's just the nature of price and system design. Where this system genuinely makes sense is for people who want a tangible surround experience without wiring, prefer one package rather than separate amps and speakers, watch a mix of movies, streaming shows, and games, don't need separate component upgrades over time, value easy setup and practical connectivity in everyday use. It feels like a living room upgrade that doesn't require wrestling with cables or a rack of gear. So here's the rational evaluation. The ULTIMEA Skywave X50 5.1.4ch system delivers a noticeably richer, wider soundstage than typical TV audio. It doesn't replace high-end custom setups, but in its category it offers convincing Atmos-style immersion, solid bass support, and flexible connectivity that suits most living rooms. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.